Hello all. I have bizarre thing Julius bottles. They've been bottling some of their IPAs for a little while at Treehouse. I assume it's something to do with the aluminum shortage. I was excited to get them. It's a 12-ounce bottle too, and you can see the haze in there. This is your first chance to get a skunked Julius bottle if you leave this out in sunlight, I guess. 6.8% alcohol. I did a really long, ridiculous review of this like 3.5 years ago. I've had it many times. And I already had some of these bottles and I thought it was a great batch. So, thought I should re-review it. I don't know, they don't have the date printed on this, but I'm pretty sure this is bottled like 4 days ago. Yeah, I think 4 days ago. So, extremely fresh. Probably one of the freshest Julius I've ever gotten. And I've already had a bunch of my other Treehouse beers, and what I noticed off the bat is that this is much darker than the other IPAs. And I've also noticed there's a lot more malt and yeast flavor in this than some of their other IPAs too, which is why it's so distinctive and a lot of people like it so much. And a nice big soapy head. Hard to tell if we are going to have some really dense bubbles because of all the big soapy bubbles. But I think it's dense underneath there. It's not popping too fast. That's one thing. If you hear a lot of pops when you put your ear to a beer after you pour it, you know that head's going to die down pretty quickly usually, unless it's crazy high carbonation. And that is not quite murky. You can just get some shadows of my finger through there. Yep. And it's that classic almost banana, not quite Hefeweizen smell from their yeast, and how it works with Citra hops. I assume Citra is the prominent hop in Julius. They don't tell you. And that reminds me a lot of Equilibrium beers. I have to try to get some to do a side by side. But they're two kind of cult favorite breweries. I think because they get this like circus peanut like that, those chalky, crumbly candies called circus peanuts that aren't like peanuts. It smells like those a little bit. I guess there's kind of a toasty thing going on with the malt. They definitely use some kinds of darker or toastier malts to get that color. But then it's just lots of creamsicle and mango. Very, very ripe mango. It's a very distinct smell and a very nice smell. And quite a full body for 6.8. It's not a perfect pillow on my tongue. But it is very, very, very soft. And just kind of chewy. And the amount of like bready, syrupy flavor in there is great. It's has that actual fresh mashing malted barley. Like if you go into a brewery and they're currently mashing in the grains, it smells like that. And it's really great to have that in a beer, but along with all these fruity notes. But that's why I think that it's such a beloved beer. One probably the most highly sought after IPA in the world. Is because it has a lot of dimensions to it, but then it's extremely easy to drink. It makes the hop heads happy. It makes people who like Hefeweizens or slightly maltier, yeastier beers happy. This is a very fresh, potent bash, so it might be a little bit more hoppy and bitter than I'm used to with it. But really nice to enjoy it like this. We'll see if I can hold on to these for more than a couple more weeks because I just want to drink one every day. But this is a little more bitter and potent. I've had some batches of this where it's a little bit less hazy and a little bit less intense, but this one is very intense. And it's got some pretty good lacing and head. I feel like this glass isn't the greatest for creating a nice head. But what's nice is that there's always this bubbly, foamy cap on Treehouse beers, at least the ones that are up to their quality. Not every batch of them, but theirs is perfect. But yeah, I can easily generate a finger of head there. And it just helps to make it a nice creamy experience. It's damn good beer. Do I need to rate it at all? I don't know. Was this review necessary? I don't know. Just updated thoughts slightly. But it's really just orange, mango, creamsicle. So there's some incense spiciness to it now. I don't know if it's yeast phenolics or if it's just from the hops. It definitely has to do with hop spiciness. For sure. And that might also be because it's so fresh. Maybe I'll like it even more in a week when it loses that and it gets a little bit softer and easier. But I recommend anyone to actually try Super Fresh Julius. It'll make you realize that it's not just some sort of sweet garbage fake IPA that the world is just fawning over because it's easy to drink. It's has way more integrity than just your average pastry stout. Bye bye.